Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 51, Half a Job Bob. In this week's episode, we were live on YouTube. JfG Ash skips the boring parts like out this week. We find out that JfG Alex is favourable to a bit of dress up. There's some issues with the news, and finally the meaning of Gibbons is revealed again. So sit back, relax, and remember, if you can't wait until Sunday, you can always listen live on a Wednesday.
Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers podcast. This is episode 51. My name is Alex, and I'm joined, as ever, by my very good friend Ash. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, buddy, I'm good. I'm on the internet right now. Check me out.
You're literally on the internet. You're on it as we speak.
Right now.
What are you doing on there?
Just got my face on there right now. So yeah.
Okay. Just a live stream of your face.
Yeah, you seem to be a lot more fluid than mine. I think it's because I'm using some kind of weird app on my phone to try and do this because the Xbox 360 live cam just wasn't a very good resolution, I must say. So I went for the 720p on my camera, phone even, to hopefully make it look better. But yeah, buddy, how's it going? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not a great deal. I've been playing some games, and thank God for that, quite frankly, because I don't know what we would have talked about otherwise. But also, I went to see Hail Caesar this week, buddy, the new Coen Brothers film, starring all the people that are always in the Coen Brothers films, like George Clooney. Yeah. And it was really good, and I really liked it, and it was really funny. I thought it kind of petered out a little bit at the end, but I really liked Josh Brolin. Is kind of like... It's like Doctor Who, you know, Doctor Who gets reborn and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard
Tommy
that,
Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones has been reborn as Josh Brolin, but Josh Brolin didn't wait for Tommy Lee Jones to die.
So he gets born inside him.
I don't know, but he is the same man. He is a younger version of Tommy Lee Jones, and presumably there will be a new Josh Brolin in 50 to 60 years' time. So we can look forward to that. But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'm sure someone fucking does, buddy, so it'll be fine.
I thought you were talking about Pez or something, with players getting reborn. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, anyway, that's a really good film, and I thought it was very funny, and Ellen definitely didn't fall asleep through half of it.
Oh, no,
so
why would
good.
you? I mean,
and had a nice meal, and I always have a nice meal like every week. I'm very lucky with meals.
He likes his food to
other
be
people
tasty.
prepare food for me, and it is almost always excellent. Or I just like, you know, you could just feed me like a plate of shit and I will think that's good as well. Perhaps my standards are just very low.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. Could be. What about you, buddy? What have you been up to?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing at all?
No. Just I played some Division, and I've been awake a lot with babies, which is loads of fun. But yeah, apart from that, not a lot.
That doesn't sound that fun, being awake a lot. No,
I like
not
sleep.
For me.
I'm a fan of sleeping, I must say. I watched The Martian, even though that's been around for a long time. That was a good film. Enjoyed it.
That is a good film.
It's very good. It's very upbeat. I would definitely recommend watching it. It was fun. But yeah, literally, apart from that, nothing. I've been making these templates for what we're doing right now. I think I've done a good job.
I'm not going to praise you in public, buddy.
It's fine. I don't
perhaps when the stream ends, I might give you a sort of digital pat on the back, but it's certainly you're not going to happen here. It's not
okay,
happen here.
That's fine. That's fine. I think I got all the spellings right. I don't know. I guessed at what Facebook we had and Twitter. I was like, whatever. But I put it on there. You know, it's what people do apparently with these things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I'm a bit of a grammar Nazi in that, but no, there's no problems here, buddy. Everything's looking tip top.
Nice. I did it. I had some issues with some keying, but I sorted it out. It took me about half an hour to set this all up this evening even. It's quite late.
Well, beautiful, buddy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Very nice indeed. Well, basically neither of us have done anything, have we? Let's be honest.
No,
I've been out once and seen a movie.
Skip this section and just.
You've been looking after children. I've watched a film. Other than that, absolutely nothing at all. So let's just fucking fast forward pronto.
Gibbons, let's do it.
And go in and talk about what we've been playing.
Let's do it.
So your section looks a little bit singular.
Compared to
I feel like you've
weeks, I've kind of cut back a bit. I must
last
say.
week you had about 12 games. This time round, you've kind of been focusing on that one.
It's one game that I've played. Yeah. So yeah. So, do you want to start this week? Because you've got more than one game to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a whopping 3. That I want to talk about.
I'm excited about one of them, at least.
Okay, well, are you excited about Batman?
No, not at all. But go on then. Cool. How is Batman Arkham Knight?
Friend of the podcast, Dan, he's been playing through Batman Arkham Knight. I've been getting regular updates about how that's been going. And he's lent it to me, so I loaded it up a couple of days ago and I've played it for maybe 2 hours, something like that. Had another little go today. And I'm not a huge fan of Batman or superheroes or anything like that, but
true.
I can appreciate a good game, buddy, and this is definitely that. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really interesting intro sequence, and I really like the way it sort of it feels like it's kind of giving you tutorials, but in a kind of genuine kind of way. It's not like forcing you through kind of thing. I feel like it's kind of expecting a fair bit of knowledge from the previous games that I don't really have as well. But that's on me, to be honest, and I'd imagine
you say it's on you, but did you want to play those other games?
No, because I didn't really want to play this one.
Okay.
No, I if I had wanted to look into the lore of these games and know exactly what's going on, then I could have done. But I don't expect Rocksteady to go back through. I mean, they could have done like a 2-minute previously on Batman or something like that. I think games should do that more often. To be honest, it's quite an elegant way of dealing with story stuff.
Yeah, I get that. So, like, for Uncharted 4, it should have like a summary of what happened in the previous ones. You mean?
Yeah. It's just like Sully smoking a big old fat one.
Yeah,
and Nate jumping from a cliff to another cliff.
No, pretty much what Nate's like cutscenes are going to be are just him like either falling out of windows, tripping over stuff. Like all he does is roll around on the floor in those games. Like any kind of like cutscene bit, he's always stacking it. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. Imagine taking him to a shopping
centre.
It's just like, what are you doing? Like one bit in 3, like he's in like a warehouse and he's like pushing a crate, and he pushes the crate off, and then he just falls. And it's like, what you do? Like, just take your time, man.
He's a klutz, mate. You take him to the supermarket, there'd be fucking apples and pears everywhere. It'd be an absolute nightmare. All the tins would be off the shelves. He has to touch everything everywhere he goes.
He loves touchy-feely stuff, doesn't he?
He's a right nightmare, he is.
Yeah,
he certainly is.
But
yeah, anyway, I haven't played enough of this to make a big old judgment. All I can tell you is that it looks gorgeous and it's clearly very well crafted, and whether it holds my attention as someone who isn't really a fan, I don't know, but it's a really promising beginning. And yeah, it's hard because I've got Batman The Witcher, Metal Gear, Fallout, and The Division. Like, I've got so many big games to play. Maybe not The Division
Destiny.
in there, but Destiny. Fuck off. No. But I've got Metal Gear and The Witcher that I'm only halfway through, and now I've got Batman, and I'm like, well, you know, there's a lot going on there. But no, promising beginning, and it looks really, really nice, man. Like, lovely graphics and solid voice acting and stuff. Apart from Batman, he's a bit corny, but I suppose he's supposed to be, so fair enough. But yeah, I will no doubt continue to play this, and I will probably talk about it in more detail next week. But for now, we will move on. The only other thing, other than The Division, that I've been playing this week is Broforce. I had a little go on my own.
Okay.
And I kind of went back to it because I wanted to look at these like frame rate dips and stuff again. I wanted to see if it did it in single player, and I wanted to see, you know, if I could work out what was going on there. Because, you know, I said to you, a couple of weeks ago, that I felt like the performance issues were so dramatic in this game that it had to be intentional. Like, they had to have done it on purpose.
Yeah, all those explosions going off, it has to, like, do some kind of slowdown, maybe, like, so you can judge what's going on a bit better or something.
That's kind of what I thought, but no, I mean, I was on Eurogamer's website this week, and Digital Foundry have done a piece on this now.
Oh, really?
So
finally,
this is,
as well.
It's the sort of thing that, you know, they would have probably contacted the publisher and been like, "Is this supposed to be this?" But no, it just runs like arseholes, and you know, they had their thing where they've got the FPS graph on the screen, and it was dropping below 10 in certain places.
Not good, is it?
And they mentioned the lag at the beginning as well, where it starts up and then 3 seconds later it just stops for a second and you probably die. But yeah, I don't know if this thing's going to be patched. I've heard nothing suggesting that it will be. It's just quite disappointing, to be honest, because it's one of the most fun and promising PS Plus games we've had in a little while.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, just not. Apparently it does suffer a little on the PC as well in places, and a lot of people are blaming Unity. This game runs in Unity, and we've taken the piss out of the Unity engine in the past, and I think it was a little lazy of us, because there's some great Unity games. It's clearly a very versatile engine, but there's something seriously amiss here. You can't tell me that these consoles aren't capable of running a 2D side scroller that just happens to have a lot of breakables.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
So yeah, so there's that. But other than that, buddy, I, like you, have been pumping pretty much all of my gaming time into The Division. So we should probably have a chat about that. Okay,
so what do you think? I mean, we've finally got past the bit where we've been playing on the beta. So we've gone a bit further. I'm really enjoying all the unlocks and obviously all the looting. I mean, I'm a big fan of looting. There's obviously countless times where this game is getting, like, compared to Destiny, and I feel a bit sorry for Destiny in a way, because I don't think there's like a straight thing. It's like, oh yeah, these two games are the same. I mean, yeah, they're lootables and things like that. There's the things where people were saying like, like the customization in The Division is a big thing that sets it apart from Destiny. But I mean, in Destiny you can customize your guns and stuff. Like, I mean, not visually, but stat wise and things like that. So, I mean, I feel like it's a bit harsh, some of the statements that are coming out about The Division against Destiny. But not defending Destiny, but I am kind of. But The Division anyway. What a game. Loving it. Want to play loads more. What about you?
I think the thing that's surprising me about this game is that I feel like it's kind of being painted with the same brush as a lot of stuff that's come out recently and a lot of previous Ubisoft stuff. Like, it's kind of like no one who hasn't played it seems neutral on the subject. Like, the amount of hate it's getting, I think, like, it seems to be really I was going to say divisive or dividing opinion. It's very difficult when it's called The Division to say what a Marmite game it is. We'll go with that. It's a Marmite game. I think there's a lot of people seem to just be dismissing this completely, and that's a bit of a shame, to be honest, because I think it's really it's got so many great things about it, and it seems like a lot of people have been complaining about it, but still kind of enjoying it at the same time. Yeah. It's just one of those games that the cycle of run here, shoot that, go there, complete this, and then rinse and repeat. That whole rinse and repeat is just incredibly addictive. And I think the other thing that people have been discussing in quite a lot of detail is the environment. I think a lot of people said that they thought that the environment, being steeped in the real world like it is, would make it kind of mundane, and they'd get kind of sick of looking at it, and they can't really take it anywhere because it's not like vast planets and stuff. I much prefer this real world environment. I've always preferred games sort of grounded in realism rather than crazy space stuff. I've always preferred, Earthbound shooters to stuff like Halo and spacey things, and the same goes for this.
I think it's can't call this a realistic shooter like normal Tom Clancy-esque style of games where they're going for realism. I mean, they've got a lot of realism in their guns and things, but you can't say like shooting a dude in the head like 50 times is spot on the old realism factor, I must say.
No, that's true. That's true. But then, that's a game mechanic, and
yes, that's how this game works.
I think the more I've played it, the more I think that the DLC pack that people were talking about, where it turns the whole city into the dark zone.
Yes,
I'm really suddenly looking forward to that, because I think that this game could do with a way where you could turn it on that there are loads of people in the environment with you, or at least a few. And the other thing, to be honest, is that I think it would be really nice if there was, and I don't think this would be hard to do either, if the Division had certain missions, or even the missions it already has, where you go through and it is like Rainbow in terms of a headshot kills, but the same applies to you.
Yeah.
I think that if there was some sort of almost like sudden death in Worms kind of thing, where they could turn it into a more sort of Splinter Cell stroke Rainbow Six kind of game, just for specific missions.
Yeah, like if there was like a stealth section, because that's one thing I love, is that initial strike on this game, because like my choice of weapon is like a submachine gun and like a bolt rifle, so my first shot is one straight to the dome with my sniper, and can I just say their headshot sound is fucking brilliant.
It is good.
It is so satisfying, that sound of shooting some dude in the face. I love stuff like that. Big fan.
I think we're having a great time on it. One concern that I have is that I've already, having only played, I think I've played like 15 hours, something like that now, maybe a little bit more than that, but I've already ranked up most of my base, and I feel like I'm about halfway through the story, and I don't know if I'm still going to be playing this in like a month's time. And normally for games, I've said this to you before, that's fine, but this is a game, in the same way that Destiny was, this is a game that is meant to be something you play for months and months and keep going back to.
I agree completely with you.
I'm not sure it's going to be.
I know. The only thing that I can think is going to keep us coming back is maybe the Dark Zone, but once again, we're going to get that situation where we're in Destiny, is we hit the top level, we've got like really cool stuff. I mean, we could play like another so many hours of this and like get even more stuff, but is that more stuff going to be better, like that much better than the one? I'm just laughing at you now. Sorry. Is it going to be much better than the ones, all the stuff that we've got? Is it going to be worth doing the grind and so forth? I mean, hopefully, because there's a lot of, not a lot, but, there's a fair bit of planned DLC until, Christmas time or December or whenever they said the last one would be. So I'm hoping, like, maybe we get the season pass, like, when that first one comes out, if we still really want to go for it. And they, like, increase the level that you can go up to and, keep that content coming, really. That's the only way that they're going to keep us, because otherwise it's going to be like Destiny, and we're just going to get to a point and be like, that's it, we're done. We'll come back next year maybe when it's done. I don't know.
But so, Destiny kept us going for quite a while. Like, it didn't, did it? The Taken King did. Once the Taken King came out, yes, then yeah, that game kept us going for several months before we finally got bored.
Yeah. But we also started playing a bit of, like, PvP in that as well. So definitely we need to hit up the Dark Zone at some point, like, big time, I think. I think that's where a lot of fun's going to be in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think if we could get into that, then we'll have to think about the season pass, because the idea of, if we really enjoy the Dark Zone, and then there's a way that we can make the whole city a Dark Zone, then we're going to want to do that.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. It'd be sweet.
I think the bottom line at the moment is difficult because I'm trying to, and I think everybody is, because everyone knows the score with this sort of game. They know that Ubi wants us to be playing this for months on end, and they expect, like, MMO-esque content that keeps you coming back and so on and so forth. But if you kind of forget all that right now and just take it at face value for what it is, I'm having a really good time. Whether I will be in a fortnight or a month or 2 months, I don't know. But right now, I'm absolutely loving it. It's one of those games that I can't wait to get home and play, and that is commendable to Ubisoft. I think I just think it's incredibly addictive and fun to play with friends, and I suppose we'll see, won't we? We'll keep playing it and we'll see what the sort of longevity is.
I think one thing that is definitely making me excited for is Ghosts, or whatever the next Ghost Recon's going to be, because that was meant to be open world, 4-player, loads of stuff, and that game's going to be fucking awesome as well.
Is that Wildlands?
I think so, yeah. It was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. But it was the fact that it was just like, this big old massive place, and you can just go around it with your buddies. I mean, obviously being I think they said it was 4-player co-op. I don't know if they've said anything about multiplayer. If they have or not, then yeah, good.
But I don't think they've mentioned PvP, but yeah, it was open world, open continent rather.
Yes.
Like you could infiltrate from the sky, or it did look very, very cool. And if that's the way that Ubisoft are going, then excellent.
I'm all in.
We like Ubisoft tactical shooters and stuff. We always have. So a lot of people might find them a little dry. And a special mention to the story in The Division, by the way, which is fucking clown shoes. Like, it's so poor. A lot of the voice acting's kind of embarrassing as well.
Hey, I don't care. I just shoot dudes, collect loot, do it all again. That's what this game is. And
I do care. I think they can do a lot better with, like, a game that's been in development for 5 years and has got a really good idea behind it in terms of the whole virus stuff. To then, like, phone in the fucking story and have it as just this awful, like, embarrassing mess. I do care. It pisses me off.
Do you think it's down to...
I won't care once we hit the level cap and do the missions 10 times. I realise that.
Yeah.
Or I want to gouge my eyes out because I keep having to listen to the fucking voice acting over and over.
That's what I was going to say. Is it another thing where, like, with Destiny, everyone was, like, slating, like, Dinklage because of his... voice acting it and making it a bit dull? I mean, are we going to get, like, the same thing in The Division, do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, they're very video gamey performances, I think. Like, there's no standout anything. They've kind of tried to go with humor a little bit with some of the agents in the safe houses. I don't think that they've done a particularly good job of that. I find them annoying rather than funny.
Yeah.
But... there's almost a case for saying like the less memorable the story, the better, because if you're going to be playing through it over and over again, then anything that sticks in your mind is going to get annoying on like the 6th playthrough. Whereas if it just all fades into the background, then maybe it's perfect for rinse and repeat gameplay.
I think that trying to get that balance is going to be quite hard, to be honest. But we'll end up seeing what happens, I guess. You know, and going back to what we were saying, it's like, yeah, this game's really good right now. In a couple of weeks, we might still be saying the same thing, or we might not be. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that one, buddy.
It's beauty you're doing a podcast, buddy, is we can revisit this.
Yeah. Mainly because it's going to be like the only thing that's going to be on my games list for like the next few weeks as well. So
well, it is quite Moorish, buddy. It is quite Moorish.
Definitely is. I love them menus. I can spend hours in them.
I think I heard somewhere today you can turn the numbers off that ping out of people when you shoot them.
Yeah, you can customize like the way it looks like quite a bit. You can turn your mini map off and everything. So yeah, just if people don't know. Go into your options and turn your HUD off, so that way like you can see stuff when you're not in combat.
You can set it to auto hide.
And
it will pop up whenever your radar detects something red, like an enemy or whatever. So
it's actually a good way of like knowing that enemies are about.
It's like a cool cheaty way.
Yeah, because it's like you're just walking around the streets and then it pops up and you're like, oh.
It's the equivalent of spamming the VATS button in Fallout, so that
totally.
You can tell if enemies are nearby.
It really is.
Well, cool, buddy. We will revisit this in future episodes, but for now, I think that'll do us. That's what we've been playing.
My man's on the ocean.
And now it's time for the news.
The news.
The news.
The news.
The news. All right. Number one.
Number Wang.
Dead Island 2 has a new developer, and that developer is UK company Sumo Digital, buddy. This is
made
Dead Island 2
for virtual tennis.
Absolutely. This is a game that was actually available for pre-order on the stores for some time.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And had been shown off at, I think, 2 E3s. It was, I think, Jaeger were the previous company working on this. Jaeger of Spec Ops: The Line fame. Since then, it went through a couple of other developers that sort of had a look, and it's been looking for a new dev team ever since. And here we are. So Sumo Digital are starting work on this. I don't know in what form they're going to... I mean, I don't know how this works, really. Like, a new developer's taken over. Are they going to start from the ground up? Do they use any of the existing assets? Or the game was quite a long way along. I'd seen gameplay demos. I think it was playable at last year's E3. So
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there, but I think it's good news, at least, you know. I think it's a cool IP, Dead Island. I know it was dumb, the original one, and I know that they've kind of moved on now with Dying Light and that, but I thought it's good to have a stupid, fun zombie game.
Yeah, it's a massive, just like hack and slash, like
exactly
comedy thing. Like, I mean, like it was just funny, like slashing all the limbs off. Like even when like they're on the floor, you're like, yeah, take your legs off now. It
was a bit of a pastiche of a serious game. It was tongue in cheek. It was fun. I don't know. I expect we'll hear more before the end of the year about this. Although if they're starting from scratch, we could be waiting some time.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like, you would think they would get like some of the assets and stuff from the previous dev, but who knows?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that wouldn't be part of the plan, because there clearly had been so much work gone into it already that it'd be crazy to start from scratch now. I'm not sure Dead Island's a big enough cash cow to bother without using some of the existing stuff that has been paid for over the years. So either way, I'm pleased that that's found a dev and that they'll move forward. So that's good.
Good news.
Number 2, Hitman, buddy.
Hitman.
I don't know if I've spoken to you about Hitman, but Hitman is a game that I want.
Okay, you want this game?
I want this game, but I want all of the game.
Okay.
Including the bits that haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't really want to pay for it.
Ooh, what? What do you mean? How are you going to do that?
I'm not. I'm not.
I was going to say you're going to go stealing. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna go on the chore, mate, down the high street. No, firstly, I don't like the episodic thing. I think that it isn't a true episodic thing. I think they're doing it because the game wasn't finished and they wanted to release something.
Clearly.
And I don't want to pay for it because I know that I will be done with the whole thing within sort of 9 hours, and I know that I would enjoy it briefly and then I would get bored, and that is just not good use of my funds.
Well, so you'd get bored before you finish the entire game, or what?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So why not just buy like one of the small ones for like 12 quid or whatever?
Well, there you go. I mean,
not
maybe
this first one because we've played half of it. That was
that's
stupid
true.
Buying that.
I don't want to fork out the money. I don't think that I feel like I get bored of it really quickly, and so I'm kind of torn.
Barely touched the beta. I mean that.
Yeah,
surely
I really like the look
something.
of it. I really like the look of it, and I want to play it, but
yeah,
I also
think,
kind of
like,
know that I would.
It would
Theoretically, we want it.
Yeah, but you know. No.
Well, maybe we should theoretically buy it rather than physically buy it, buddy.
Okay.
I think that would be cheaper.
Probably.
Anyway, the reason that it's in the news. Let's move on. I'm just chatting shit. This will happen. This will happen.
Yeah.
The physical release of Hitman has now been delayed. It was supposed to come out in, I think, Q3, because they were planning on getting all of the episodes and content out on a monthly basis through till the summer, and then releasing the full thing on disc release as well as it being available digitally. This now isn't coming out till 2017, which makes all the games shops in the UK look really dumb right now. Like it's dumb enough because they've all got just cases and cases of Hitman. If you go into a game right now, they've just got so much shelf space
everywhere.
All of them just say like digital download only and $11.99, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's not great, is it? So yeah, the only other thing
for that
is IO say that they will release each content pack every month, one a month. It's not going to like drag on. So cool. Maybe that's a game that I could buy when everything is out for it and it's dropped down a few quid, you know.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they'll do this month by month now, and then when like the physical release comes out, they'll be like, hey, look, it's a brand new game, and then charge like obviously full price for it and hold it at full price for quite a while. I don't know. Hopefully by then, anyone that wants to play Hitman would have bought the episodic bits, I guess, and like it would just be like, I don't know, stragglers picking it up at the end, I guess. So you wouldn't think that would sell that well, but you never know.
Yeah, I think that's what you said at the end there. That's what it comes down to. It depends how well this sells. But I must say, I am not a fan of drip feeding the content out for one reason, not even thinking that there's any sort of swindling tactics going on. But when I get my teeth into a game like that, I don't want to have to wait a month for the next bit. Like, I don't want to have to wait. And we're living in a world now where, you know, Netflix will chuck a box set online, you know, or a new series comes out and you can watch all of them when you want to watch them or whatever. Yeah. I don't want to be drip fed anything in 2016. Everything is instant. It's there.
Yeah, I need it in my face all the time.
So, yes, there we go. So we will move on anyway. And we will move on to something that you mentioned and I hadn't heard of. and is in the news this week, buddy. This is a few weeks ago. You mentioned something.
Razer laptop, wasn't it?
That's right. Yes. This is a laptop that allows you to have an option to plug in an external graphics card so that the laptop can be a sort of slim, not particularly power hungry, not particularly battery hungry, like Ultrabook type thing. Yep. And when you get home, you can plug in your external graphics card and suddenly, voila, you have a gaming PC.
Beast mode.
Indeed, enabled in many ways. So this is AMD, and they have announced X Connect or Cross Connect. What do you reckon?
Well, it was Crossfire, wasn't it?
So should we go with Cross Connect?
I would say so.
Okay.
Or was it X-Fire? I always called it Crossfire.
Well, Crossfire makes more sense than X-Fire.
I'd say Cross Connect. I don't know.
Okay, well, on your head be it, buddy.
Thanks.
So this is Cross Connect from AMD. It's going to be available shortly, and I say that because it was alleged to have come out on the 10th of March, but I can find nowhere on the internet that will sell it to me.
Bastards.
So I wasn't going to buy it, but I was trying to see if you could, and I can't find it anywhere. I looked on all manner of shops and stores. I went on the AMD website. Doesn't seem to be something you can buy right now, but apparently it's out, so I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, this is an external graphics enclosure. This will support various AMD graphics cards. It plugs into your laptop via Thunderbolt 3, just a single Thunderbolt 3 port, and it creates 4 lanes of PCI Express. So you could feasibly put a fairly beefy card in there, and you could even put 2 in there, SLI. So
nice.
Plugs in seamlessly with AMD's firmware. They've got this new firmware system, new graphics drivers that mean that you don't have to restart the device when you plug the thing in. It operates like a external hard drive or something where you can just flick between graphics cards, internal and external. So, no rebooting or anything like that. Sounds fucking great, frankly.
Yeah, it really does. It's a very good idea.
It is.
It's kind of strange how it hasn't already happened. Like, you see it as like such a simple thing, like how we have portable like everything these days, like mainly like USB sticks and hard drives and what have you. But yeah, to have like an external sound cards. I mean, we know all about them and stuff with all our music and crap we do.
Yeah.
And so to not have an external graphics card, I mean. Yeah,
I guess it was it a tech thing? I mean, obviously you need an incredible amount of bandwidth to stream the graphics card to the system without any sort of delay. I'd imagine that had something to do with it, but obviously Thunderbolt 3 port's fairly quick, fairly speedy, so
average. Decent
cash. I think it's a great idea. Obviously, I can't tell you how much it is, even though it's apparently out, because I can't find it online. But keep an eye out. If you go onto the AMD website, there's an article about it on there, along with a list of cards that will be supported. I think there'll be lots of different buying options, smaller versions, bigger versions. You can probably buy versions with the graphics card in them as well. So it's going to be interesting, and it'll be very interesting to see if NVIDIA have anything in the pipeline that's similar. I mean, normally the two rival each other quite nicely, so...
Gibbons, buddy.
We shall see, buddy. We shall see. So next on the agenda, buddy, we have some news on Rocket League. Rocket League, of course, they really haven't been supporting that excellent, inexpensive game enough, buddy.
It's not good enough.
All the free maps, the excellent support for a game that we got as part of our PS Plus subscription, it's a travesty. Anyway, basketball is coming to Rocket League. This was tweeted out by one of the developer accounts this week. They were kind of teasing what's coming soon with a little bit of a picture. So yeah, this is a new map. I don't know how it's going to work exactly. Looking from the picture, it looked like it's sort of a suspended goal. It's not going to be quite like a basketball net. But yeah, what do you reckon? Is that another reason to get back into that game?
I've seen a couple of screenshots and it looks really cool. Like, God knows how you're gonna score a goal in that. I mean, seriously, it looks mental.
I mean, the stuff like hitting the ball in the air at all is difficult enough, I think, when it's at a certain height. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, no, they just keep putting out more content and going from strength to strength. They're kind of writing their own check.
Making a shit ton of money, buddy.
I don't know how you follow Rocket League. That's what I'm really excited about in a few years' time.
You just keep pumping more content out for it, buddy. That's all you got to do.
Well, either way, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, there we go. Worth noting that Ash's little babby is cameoing once again on the podcast. She's run into some difficulty. She wanted to be on the podcast, and she has returned for a second week running, buddy, which is more than we can say for any of our other guests.
Gibbons.
So next, Gears 4. This is Gears of War 4. The multiplayer beta for this begins on the 24th of April, 18th for early access. Open beta starts on the 24th, so that's exciting news for anyone who has an Xbox. That game looks really cool. I don't know if you've seen any video footage or anything of that, but
yeah, it does look very, very good. I'm a bit jealous.
It's an excellent example of taking a game's sort of lore and all of the rules and everything and putting a bit of a twist on it. I think it's pretty exciting after what was a fairly disappointing third game. So, yeah.
Yeah, number 3 was the one that I just didn't play for some reason.
Is that a game that you had for ages but never actually put in the console? Yeah. You're tired of a franchise when you don't even bother with it when you actually have it.
I think the fact that no one else had it as well kind of made me not want to play it, because we played 1 and 2 a lot co-op, and I guess I just held on to it just in case someone else picked it up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the multiplayer was a huge part of that. I mean, we pumped hours and hours into the... Was it Gears 2 where we did the Horde mode and we played the shit out of that? We really did.
Yes, it was.
That was fun. That was really fun.
It was very, very good. Great game.
Well, anyway, it looks good, that new one. And yeah, 24th of April for the open beta. 18th if you're early access. So next, buddy, let's talk about some PlayStation VR. We definitely haven't talked about this before. Let's do it now.
This is not the third time we're doing this.
This isn't the third time because of recording difficulties that we've done this section of the news. It's absolutely fine. Not. No, so good. Anyway, PlayStation VR, it will launch in October. It will be £350 in the UK. You'll need a PlayStation camera and a PlayStation Move controller. This is neither things are shipping with the headset, so you'll have to buy those separately. I suppose that's another way of them keeping the price down. Similar to the whole Kinect thing when the two consoles launched at the start of the generation. Yeah, Amazon have said that sales of the PlayStation camera have gone up by over 1,000%, which is something. You'd expect that, I suppose.
Yeah, no one buys these things.
I've got one, buddy.
I know you have, buddy, because you got yours in a bundle when you bought it.
I did. I bought my console at launch, and it was the only one available, and I took what I got. And if I could have avoided buying it, then I would have done. All I ever use it for is logging in to my device, and in doing so, I have to hold the controller up just below my chin because it needs the controller to be somewhere below your chin. Or maybe I've got a big head. I don't know. I don't know quite why.
I believe it's the second one.
I don't know why it can't just do it without the controller. It has to find the little light bar. It's very annoying.
I'm sure the old 360 just did it with your face.
It did, as does the Xbox One if you've got a Kinect.
Well, if you bought that at launch, you had to have a Kinect, buddy.
You did. They fucked you later. It was a beautiful thing. Anyway, Amazon said they've sold out of all of this stuff, so I'm sure there'll be more available soon. But Yeah, apparently there's a Battlefront VR experience as well that DICE are making. That's coming out exclusively to PlayStation VR. It's the only VR headset on a console, so it's not especially exclusive, but I suppose, sure, fine. Elsewhere, news of the Oculus launch titles, buddy. I don't know if you've seen this.
This is the third time I've seen it.
It's the third time that you haven't seen this. This is the Oculus launch lineup. I picked out the highlights. We have Adrift, Project Cars, Eve Valkyrie, and Elite Dangerous. Vanishing of Ethan Carter. There's a load of old shit on there as well, like Blaze Rush, buddy.
Big fan.
That Battle Mech Arena as well. Not the best. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll revisit VR stuff towards the end of the podcast with hilarious results. But for now, we'll move on, I think. We'll move on.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll move on to the news of The Division. The Division is the best-selling new IP launch of all time. There have been sort of weird facts and figures coming out about The Division as people sort of tentatively said, oh, it's the best new IP launch of Q1, and then, oh, it's the best new IP launch of the first half of the year and stuff. And finally, it went past Watch Dogs for sales, and then it went past Destiny for sales. And now I can categorically tell you, yes, the best-selling new IP of all time. So, I mean, that's
good. It's impressive.
That's great. Yeah.
Now they did come out and say that like best-selling, as in like the most money made. I believe, and it was like 330 million in 5 days. But they didn't say that it had sold like more units or more copies than Destiny, which is strange because I think Destiny made like 325 million. So a bit of an odd one, that.
I guess it must be something to do with DLC, like, or maybe the gold editions and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
more people
possibly.
Bought the season pass bundle this time round, something like that.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I've been watching your camera moving slowly.
There's not enough gaffer tape in the world, buddy.
It's been so funny. He's back. Oh dear.
Oh god.
So next, there's a big fuck off Easter sale that's hit the PSN, isn't it, buddy?
Tell me all about it, buddy.
I'll tell you all about it while you fix your gaffer tape. I don't really know much about it because you're the one reporting on the news. Apparently, there's a big sale where you can get monies off the games.
Yep, carry on, buddy. Yep.
Some highlights include Battlefield 4 for $7.99.
You're a natural, buddy.
Yep.
You're a natural.
FIFA 16 for $24.99, which
I've
been told twice before already. That's really good, and it holds its value.
It holds its value until the new season starts, buddy. So that's a bit of a bargain there.
Oh, definitely. And,
carry on, yeah.
And finally, another one we've got is Tearaway Unfolded for $9.99, and I've played the shit out of that on the Vita, and it's very good, and I would highly recommend it for, you know, a little platformer. It's very good. Other games include... What, buddy?
Fuck all, because it's a shit sale.
What are you on about? Knack's in the sale. Fucking...
Knack is in the sale.
Oh dear. I think it's like £5.60 something or something like that, but still not fucking worth it.
Yeah, no, it's not a great sale. The UK sale, they've said like savings up to 60%, which is a bit of a stretch, frankly, because they've clearly just deducted a load of money off of some like giant gold bundle or something. I accidentally went on the US store today because I was using a browser with a proxy, and they've got as usual, have far better savings. And the thing is, like, I know because of the exchange rate, like we regularly get boned with the whole $60 games are like £55 games when they, you know, we're paying $80 instead of $60. But to fuck us on the savings as well, do you not think that's a little rich? Like,
yeah, maybe.
Why can't we have as good a savings as the States? We're already paying more for all of our games, so why can't we have savings as good? Like, I don't know, it's fucking well annoying, mate.
Well,
but either
what
way,
else is annoying? If you're American, the Canadians get the exact same sale and the same price, but the Canadian dollar, less than the American dollar or whatever it is. So if you're Canadian, it's even cheaper, buddy.
Something of a stitch up there.
Oh, Gibbons.
Well, anyway, there you go. There's your sale.
Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy. That brings us round to our final news story of the week, and this is about Trackmania. This is Trackmania Turbo. We have presumably been playing Trackmania Turbo Open Beta.
It's been great
which
fun.
happened this weekend. This podcast goes live on a Sunday. The beta's been going over this weekend. It ended on the Sunday that this podcast is going out. And it would have been lovely to have more than 2 days' notice, bearing in mind this is Wednesday before the weekend, from the developer that they were going to be doing an open beta, because then, I don't know, we could have fucking told people on our fucking podcast,
maybe
buddy.
last week.
Yeah, that would have been lovely. That would have been really nice. They didn't do that. So yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm going to play it, but sorry that we couldn't tell you about it. It hadn't been announced yet. Incidentally, JJ tried to give us a code for this last week.
Yeah, the closed beta, wasn't it?
It was the closed beta, and unfortunately, it ended. Nice of him to try, though. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this game out. I think the big concern that I have with it is that I haven't yet to see a proper multiplayer. I've seen this sort of double drive stuff where two people control the car, and that looks funny and interesting. But if this is a racer that hasn't got like a multiplayer where they've got like more than one car on the track, then I don't know that I'm going to be that interested in picking it up.
I know it's got split screen, but that doesn't help us.
No, we'll have to see what the modes and stuff look like on that, but yeah, we shall see on that one, and we will have played it by the time you're listening to this, and we will talk about that next week.
Gibbons, buddy. Now, you're going to say it's the end of the news.
I mean, you can see me, so you saw I was about to say something, otherwise you'd never have known. But what are you going to say?
Well, I came up with an idea this week. Using I know, fucking step back. Using my phone, like my app on my phone, the Appy Gamer app, which is a fantastic app. I highly recommend it. It gets every single bit of news you ever want about gaming. It's brilliant. Sales pitch done. There's a bit in there where you can like save the articles. So I've been saving articles this week, thinking, oh yeah, this will be really good for the podcast. Because by the time it comes to today, Wednesday, I've forgotten everything, and I'm not quite with it. 3 kids, I'm a bit tired. And I was like, oh yeah, I can go through my phone and be like, yeah, have you seen this bit? But unfortunately, buddy, now that we're doing this live webcam stream, my phone is over there recording me, so I can't get to my phone right now. I could have written these down earlier, but I didn't. But one bit of news, buddy. This is Ash's news favourite thing of the week. We'll come up with a better title, maybe.
No, we're sticking with that for the rest of time. Ash's news favourite thing of the week.
Okay. Warcraft 3 getting a patch, buddy.
What?
Have you not seen it?
No.
Warcraft 3, as in the game we played years and years ago, getting patched.
Why?
I can't remember. I didn't read the whole thing, but I just...
You didn't even read it.
It was amazing. I watched a video, and it was like, yeah, cool, Warcraft 3. I thought you would have seen it, buddy.
No, I'm afraid not. No.
So yeah, there you go. I think Diablo 2 got a patch as well, I believe. So there you go. So many years later, still patching the games.
Cool.
And that's Ash's news favourite thing of the week.
Ash's news favourite thing of the week. TM. Don't even try and take that away from us. And that is the news.
Damn right, it's the news.
And now it's time for Fonz or Phoenix.
So what have we got this week, buddy? A Fonz or a Phoenix?
We got a bit of a Fonz, buddy, and it's a Fonz because I really like the idea. This is, I think was it GDC this week? There was quite a lot of data and information that came out of it. Once again, Microsoft up to their old tricks of blowing everyone away with loads and loads of random information. But one of the most interesting things they were talking about was cross-platform play. Nice that Phil motherfucking Spencer wasn't fighting fires this week, to be honest. It was just nice to hear something a bit different that we could kind of interpret our own way. Yes. So yeah, this is news that the Xbox One will now support cross-platform gaming. Now, they were kind of careful with the wording that they used for this. Obviously, they've dabbled with cross-platform gaming before, with Windows Live games and all that sort of thing. PC
Never
compatibility,
been great, I must say.
No, not really, and kind of frowned upon. Obviously, they've got the whole UWAs thing that they're kind of pushing, but yeah, they seem to be opening things up to allow for cross-platform stuff, and we're not just talking PC. I believe the words they actually used were other console platforms. So basically, no, I don't think so. No. Long and the short of it, it looks like Microsoft are finally open to the idea of Xbox and PlayStation gamers being able to play multiplayer games together. And PC as well, of course, but yes. So all three platforms, with the possibility for developers to take advantage of the fact that they could be compatible and you could play games with people on other systems, which is great news if you've got a friend who's running a different system to you. Yep. It's very exciting in terms of what people could do there. Obviously, it was always I remember this subject has been tackled many times over many generations, and I always remember a lot of people saying, you know, like shooters, for example, you can't have PC gamers playing against console gamers. It has disastrous consequences because a mouse is more accurate. Yeah. Yes. But it looks like the first game that's going to maybe make use of this cross-platform stuff is Rocket League. Now, on the PlayStation, I think, and on the Xbox as well, like both the Xbox and the PlayStation version of Rocket League can play against PC gamers.
Yes, they both can, I believe.
The chance is there now for Cynix to have a look and see if they want to make it so that we could play with Xbox gamers, and that'd be very interesting indeed.
I believe they've come out and said, fuck you.
Yeah, I have heard that. I might need some convincing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like flicking a switch, is it? Like, you're talking about some really detailed stuff here and
plug
development.
It in the wall, don't you? Just put an Ethernet cable between the two, don't you?
Just tick the Xbox box, buddy. Yeah. Xbox box.
Yeah, the fuck box.
Fuck box. And you're away. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know which developers will take advantage of this, but I think it's a big old Fonz. And for purely selfish reasons, we run a podcast. We're looking to get community game nights together. The idea that we could choose a game that everyone could play with each other, like regardless of platform, is really exciting. It's something that's never happened, and it certainly makes life easier for us and narrows things down. So
definitely does, buddy.
So it's a big old Fonz from me, buddy. What do you think about it?
Yeah, if they manage to pull it off, then yeah, it would be really good. I don't see... Yeah, there's nothing bad about it, really. I mean, there's going to be some, like, weird clan thing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a war between the two. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on with... like clan tags and gamer tags in games and stuff. Yes. Like you're going to have to kind of streamline that, have some sort of universal system. It's going to be a bit weird. And maybe no one will take advantage of it at all. But the concept is there. I was listening to Giant Bomb today, and someone on there was saying like the problem has pretty much always been Microsoft, by the sounds of things. Like Sony have always kind of been open to this kind of cross-platform play. They didn't really see why it would be an issue, but whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe it's just hearsay, but either way, they've cleared the air now. They've said we're up for it, and I suppose we just wait and see if anyone makes use of it. But it's a fondness from me, buddy, because I really like the idea of being able to play with Xbox players. Maybe we can stop all these console wars with the keyboard warriors.
That would
Everyone
be good.
Can just play together in harmony. It'd be beautiful.
Sweet.
And now it's time for Out This Week.
Ooh.
So before we carry on, I think I should probably warn you that we are sans Ash. We have lost Ash for the next few sections.
Yeah.
This is because his newborn baby does not care for video games. At her age, she has no concept of video games and no interest in video games.
Weird.
And certainly no interest in being quiet so that he can record a video games podcast, which I think is more than fair. What can you do in these situations? So Ash has dropped out for a few sections, and I'm going to take these solo.
That sounds cool.
And before you ask, no, I have never sat alone in my room and spoken to myself.
Sounds terrifying.
For about half an hour before. This is new for all of us. So anyway, let's go for Out This Week. First this week we have Cat Lateral Damage on the PlayStation 4. This is a first-person cat game. You play as a cat. You basically have to fuck everything up in the room. You get points for doing so. It's reminiscent of things like Goat Simulator and I Am Bread in its weirdness and stupidity. I've no idea if that's any good. But it's certainly good YouTube fodder, all the same.
It's coming out this week.
Next, we have Day of the Tentacle Special Edition. You'll remember me and Ash talking about this a few weeks ago, probably sometime sort of last autumn, I think it was actually, where we were going through point-and-click adventures, and it was discussed that this would get a remaster, and it has. This is an excellent game. It's coming out on PS4, PS Vita, and PC. I think Vita would be a great way to play Day of the Tentacle.
Sounds good.
If you're on the go. So yeah, tasty remaster there.
It's coming out this week.
Next we have Dragon Fantasy, The Black Tome of Ice on the PS4. This is a sort of top-down RPG, Zelda-esque sort of thing going on there.
Yeah.
We have Lichdom Battle Mage. That's coming out on the Xbox One and the PS4. This is a single-player, magic-y action RPG. Looks quite interesting.
It's coming out this week.
Republic is coming out on the PS4. This is a former tablet game where you play as a sort of voyeur. So you're, rather than being a character in the environment, you interact with the characters via digital devices. So
Weird.
The game opens with a girl talking to you through her phone, and then you can move across to security cameras, talk to someone on a laptop, and you're basically guiding a character through the environment by sort of opening doors for them, being lookout, that sort of thing. Quite interesting. Quite surprised that it's making its way onto console, but yeah, that's out on PS4 this week. So if you like that sort of thing, then there you go.
It's coming out this week, yeah. Okay.
And we also have Trackmania Turbo. This is a game that Will have just played the open beta of, and some of you might have done as well. This is coming out on the Xbox One, the PS4, and PC this week. Could well be a purchase, and we'll be talking about that one.
Sounds ace.
Next week on episode 52 of the podcast.
It's coming out this week.
We have 101 Ways to Die. That's coming out on PS4, Xbox, and PC. This is a physics puzzler where you set up death rooms. So it's kind of like if you think of Lemmings, the object of Lemmings was to get a selection of Lemmings from one position to another. This is basically Lemmings' death. So you'll have a character or several characters, and you need to create an elaborate way to murder them.
Sounds terrifying.
Interesting.
It's coming out this week.
We have The Descendant out on PC this week. Looks like Fallout Telltale Edition to me. So it's kind of got that QTE kind of thing going on, but it's a sort of story-driven adventure. Quite slick looking, quite interesting looking actually. That's out on PC.
It's coming out this week, yeah. Okay.
We have Samarost 3. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. I think it might be.
Yeah.
Samarost. Samarost, we go with. This is out on PC and Mac, and this is a really gorgeous-looking point-and-click adventure. So you got 2 decent point-and-click adventures coming out this week, which is nice.
Wow.
And finally out this week, we have Slain. That's coming out on the PC. It is a 2D side-scroller with a load of metal playing in the background. So cool. Fill your boots. So there we go. That is out this week.
It's coming out this week, yeah. Okay.
And now it's time for the JfG Top 5.
Just for gamers, top 5.
What's the top five this week, buddy?
So we've been pretty VR heavy the last few episodes of the podcast. There's been quite a lot of news coming out. We're finally at the stage now where anyone can pre-order, or at least get in line to pre-order. One of the many headsets that are launching this year. They're all coming out this year. We know the prices for all of them. And it still, to me, personally, seems thoroughly ridiculous to splooge out the money on these because, well, for a myriad of reasons. I just think, you're talking an amazing amount of money for something that you probably haven't tried or hasn't really got much software out for it yet. But then again, there's early adopters to every system, so perhaps it's not that odd. Perhaps I wouldn't find it quite so strange if I had a bit more money as well. That could have something to do with it. But this is a tongue-in-cheek top 5. Top 5 reasons to fork out on a VR headset in 2016. So Ash isn't here to disagree with me. I've made this list up myself, and let's get the ball rolling. So the number one reason to fork out on a VR headset, because you never get burnt as an early adopter. That's right. Never any problems with an early adopting sort of scenario where you pick up a bit of software or a bit of hardware. Never any problems. Early doors. Definitely not worth waiting a year or two to see what happens with that, or if it's even worth getting. Never get burnt as an early adopter. Number 2, because of all the incredible new titles you can enjoy, like Blaze Rush and Adventure Time. Number 3, because dropping $1 or $2 grand on something you haven't tried out is just good business sense, buddies. It's just good sense. Just makes sense. Number 4, so you can watch movies as if you're sitting in the dark with your face pressed against the TV that you already own. You can't really argue with that, and there's no one here to do so. So there we go. And number 5, the number 5 reason why you should fork out on a VR headset, because there is nothing your partner or family want more than for you to become more lonely and isolated than you already are. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm all in.
And now it's time for Many Moons Ago.
Many moons ago.
So Ash isn't here to talk us through the prepping of the time machine, as he normally would. Prepping the Continuum Transfunctioner and making sure all the airlocks are sealed and that the dancing hula lady is on the dash. But if he was to be here, I would be telling him right now that we are travelling back to the 26th of March 2013, which saw the release from 2K Games and Irrational of BioShock Infinite. This was the 3rd game in the BioShock series. Ken Levigne, of course, kind of pertinent this week because it's starting to look very, very suspiciously like we're going to be getting some sort of BioShock remastered trilogy. There's another country rumoured to have rated that now. There's even some box art that seems to be popping up online. None of that's confirmed yet. 2K haven't confirmed it, but it looks more than likely that this could be some sort of E3 release of some description. But yeah, this is a game which everyone was incredibly excited for when it was first announced. BioShock, the original BioShock, was lauded pretty much everywhere. I mean, if you look at the Metacritic scores, you're talking high 90s. BioShock 2, which kind of a Marmite game in that it wasn't the same studio that made that game, but a lot of people thought that the improvements upon the first game's systems actually made it a better release. But then the proper sequel to BioShock, if you will, BioShock Infinite, it was a game that looked amazing, and it was rumored for many, many years. I think it was 6 or 7 years in the making, this game. And it released, and I was incredibly excited. I had it pre-ordered on Steam. I had a reasonable gaming PC at the time, so I had it. It was a midnight unlock for me on Steam. Had it all preloaded and everything, and it came out to huge praise. You know, it was 9s and 10s all over the place, and that praise lasted for several months, and then something sort of started to creep in, I think, across a lot of publications, where people were kind of like, well, no, actually, it wasn't quite as good as we thought. And before you knew it, it became one of those games that it seems very popular to hate, or to say that you didn't enjoy. I'm not quite sure why that happened. I don't know. But my opinion on it has never really wavered. I loved that game. I played through it in one sitting. Regular listeners will know that that's nothing new for me, but this was one of those games. It unlocked on Steam at midnight, and I played it all the way through to, I think, 10 in the morning. So I just couldn't stop. I loved it. I know that Ash had it on his system as well, and really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people kind of had a bit of a problem with how combat heavy it was. They were expecting a little bit more story stuff. But personally speaking, if you think back to the original BioShock, there was a hell of a lot of combat in that. And granted, you had the whole story going through with the walkie-talkie, but I thought the combat was a hugely important part of that game, and it was the same for Infinite. We were talking last week, of course, about impressive gaming intros, and I had the original BioShock in my top 5 list. And Ash quite rightly said that I could easily have had any of the BioShocks, and especially this one. I think if he had made that list, he probably would have put this one in there over the original BioShock, because it really was spectacular, the way that you started this game. You rode across the ocean by those two oddballs, and then you find the lighthouse. And what follows is essentially like a sort of almost like a rocket launch with you inside, and then you pop up through the clouds and everything goes a bit quiet, and you can see out the porthole the amazing city. And it really was one of those amazing sort of jaw-dropping moments. I also think that graphically this game looked absolutely astounding when it first launched. Still holds up reasonably well today, and I'm very excited to see what they've done to it. If they have done a remaster, upscaled that, and running smoothly on the consoles, that'd be lovely. But all in all, I just thought it was an excellent game. It tackled some very interesting subjects. The graphics, the acting. I thought the script was excellent and clever, and sort of had that sort of Ken Levigne humour that you're used to if you've played his games before. And yeah, all in all, just a very affecting experience. I really enjoyed my time with it, and oddly never went back. Like, one playthrough was kind of enough for me. I didn't really want to go through again. It's a very linear game, and once you've, I think, one playthrough and you've seen everything that there is to see, to be honest. But I would have to think long and hard about whether I'd invest in the remastered trilogy if that did come out. But to be honest, I'm such a fan of all 3 games that I think I probably would kind of con Ash into picking that up. So yeah, so there you go. I'm a huge fan of that. I know that Ash really liked it as well. And that was the 26th of March 2013, which saw the release of BioShock Infinite.
I love stuff like that. Big fan.
So that's more than enough babbling away from me. I have fulfilled the sections we were unable to complete yesterday, and we can head back to Wednesday Alex and also Wednesday Ash as he returns just in time for the JfG quiz.
Gibbons, buddy.
And now it's time for the JfG quiz.
So, buddy, unfortunately, due to baby circumstances, I have had to disappear for a few sections, which you have quite well, I reckon you've fucking nailed them on your own.
I mean, I haven't recorded them yet, but let's face it, I'm going to have made a wonderful job of it. It's
And plus, you have got like my my soundboard to use at your will. So,
indeed.
So anyway, yes, let's get on with the quiz because time is money, buddy.
So what have we got, buddy? What am I up against here?
Yeah, you're on the division quiz this week.
Oh,
buddy.
shit. Okay.
I know. Relevant, fresh, new, in your face. So I've got you 5 questions about the division, and we're gonna start with question number 1, which is a good place. What is the nickname for the virus in the division? Is it A, the green flu? Is it B, the black poison? Or is it C, the new plague?
B.
You're going for B, the black poison.
I'd love it if all of these were story questions, considering the kicking that I gave the division story earlier. But yes, I'm going for B. I
believe it is in the first section of the division where this is told. And
right.
Unfortunately, buddy, it's A. It's the green flu.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of the money. Okay, next question. You are part of the SHD, but what does it stand for? Is it A, super horny dudes? Is it B, seriously handicapped delinquents? Or is it C, strategic homeland division?
It's an incredibly difficult question, buddy. But I'm gonna go with C.
Is correct. C is correct. It is not the super horny dudes or the seriously handicapped delinquents.
I've dodged a bullet there.
Well
let's
played.
be honest.
Okay. Third question. When was the division first announced? Was it 2012, 2013, or 2014?
This is difficult because one of the options wasn't 1997, which is
so
when it
true.
feels like it was announced.
Yeah.
But I've got a feeling that it was actually 2013.
It's got for 2013, everyone. And yes, E3 2013 was the first announcement trailer.
The hard one because it does feel like it was announced many years ago.
Yes, many
around
moons ago.
the Dreamcast era,
Yeah, true. Okay, question 4. Whereabouts do you start in the game? Is it A, Chelsea, B, Brooklyn, or C, Camp Hudson?
It is Brooklyn, buddy.
Nice. Correct. It is Brooklyn. Okay, now, tricky one to end with, seeing as we pay no attention to this game, because why would you? You just shoot people. In the mission Madison Field Hospital, which we have played through on 3 occasions, what is the name of the final boss? Is it A, T-Bone? Is it B, Kestrel? Or is it C, Hutch?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's because we don't pay attention, buddy. We just shoot dudes in the face. That's all we do.
Kestrel doesn't ring a bell.
These are all characters from previous Ubisoft games as well.
Can you go through them again?
Okay, A is T-Bone, B is Kestrel, and C is Hutch.
I think it's Hutch. I'm going to go with Hutch.
Let's go for Hutch. He's got it. It's Hutch. Well played, buddy. T-Bone was from Watch Dogs, Kestrel was from Splinter Cell Conviction, and Hutch is the final boss. Well, not first, but yeah, the final boss in Madison Field Hospital with Dr. A. Candle.
Dr. Ass Candle.
Dr. Ass Candle.
Nice.
So well played, buddy. You got a good 4 out of 5 on the division.
Nice, buddy.
Well
Good
played.
quiz.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Beautiful.
Ain't but one man, and this world.
And now it's time for Fuckwit Corner.
Fuckwit Corner with funk. Fuckwit Corner with funk. He's got some questions. Funk.
Has he got some questions, buddy?
I mean, he sounds livid, frankly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Danger.
This is not a happy funk.
Hold back.
Yep. He says, this thing with Blaze Rush is a feckin' joke. Any reasonable human being would issue a refund given that the facts are indisputable. I have been pushed from pillar to post all week and still have no refund. When will this industry stop treating gamers like 5-year-olds? The answer is not until they start getting sued.
Sounds about right.
So Funk's pretty angry. He's been trying to get a refund on Blaze Rush. We covered Blaze Rush last week. The servers have been non-existent since sometime in December, about 2.5 months after the game came out. Targent Games are claiming that they're working on them, but they clearly aren't working on them. Sony are refusing all refunds because they say once you've launched a piece of software, you can't have a refund on that piece of software. Yeah, I'm assuming you still haven't heard from them via email.
Nope.
Nothing's changed there at all.
Nope.
I don't know what to say.
I got an email from PlayStation saying, can you just fill out this, questionnaire on how well we did with your situation? I was like, no, not yet anyway.
I mean, this is an emerging media that is not governed properly, and it's hard to know where to turn next. I mean, I feel like if you took the trading standards approach, you might have some joy because it claims to have network play and doesn't. But the bottom line at this point in time is that as a consumer buying digital goods, you have no fucking possible claim. No. Like you're just over a barrel. It's not governed properly, and it's incredibly difficult. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how to get a refund. I mean, Steam brought their refund system in, and that was considered an amazing thing, but it really should have been there in the first place. It should have been
there already. Yeah,
because
totally.
You buy an item is not as described, you return it. You get a refund. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's shit because we've basically all been robbed of X amount of pounds. But either you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I firmly believe that you would eventually get a refund off of Sony after several weeks of back and forth, or as they're hoping and as Targent Games are hoping, you just give up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? You want to keep pushing, but it's deflating in a way. I say just getting absolutely nowhere.
It's incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
Regardless of whose fault it is that the servers aren't running, the PlayStation Store run by Sony has sold us a product and that product doesn't work and they will not give us a refund.
Yeah.
And that is it. There's nothing else to talk about. Like, that is it. That they are the facts. That regardless of license agreement, regardless of this, that, or the other, Sony have taken your money for something that does not do what they said it did, and now they will not give it back. And that's fucking ridiculous, frankly.
It is, buddy.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I understand why Funk is angry. I'm angry as well, and I used to be a very angry gamer, and I'm far more measured since we started doing a podcast because, you know, it's trying to be measured.
You have to think about
it's important.
Angle. Yeah, definitely.
But it's incredibly difficult not to be furious when something like this happens. And this podcast seems like an excellent platform to vent that anger. So, you know, I think we've been more than reasonable with Sony and Tarjum Games. They clearly have problems, whether they're financial problems or strategic problems. They cannot keep servers running. They obviously didn't. Sony aren't responsible for the servers for that game, and that's it. So
yeah, Gibbons, buddy, you're totally right.
We're still in contact. We're still trying to work things out, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
So also from Funk we have, where does Schlebear draw the line? In recent weeks we've been getting on the card games, now D&D. Where is a geek too far? Cosplay, diorama? Where will or should it end? Also, where does he find the bloody time?
I don't know where I find the time. I just stay awake till stupid o'clock in the morning, I guess. That's where the time comes from.
That's the answer, innit? Make the most of your evenings.
Yeah, pretty much. Or if I get some. It's a bit difficult this moment in time with one babby waking up all the time. Seems to be not sleeping so well at the moment, which doesn't help me.
We can all vouch for you there.
Yeah, Gibbons. Well, I mean, I've already done the dioramas for the Division. That was like last year, wasn't it? Sometime.
It was.
So yeah, so that's a tick off. Yeah, I don't know where you draw the line. It's wherever you feel comfortable, or when it starts to feel uncomfortable. I guess that's when you draw the line, I would say. I still haven't investigated into D&D. It's still waiting for me, but it is something that I'm ready for. You know, I feel prepared that I'm ready to get stuck into it at some point. I just need that first initial burst of energy to get into it, and then I'm sure I'll be hooked on it.
Well, that's fair enough, buddy. That's more than fair enough. I don't know where it ends, to be honest. Like, you have yet to approach me with an offer of digital D&D. I don't know where I will come down on that particular topic. I always like dressing up, though, so maybe that could be something that could be a bit of a sweetener.
You can be a wizard, buddy. I'll let you.
That's very kind of you, buddy. I'll start getting prepared for that then.
Yeah, I watched a film actually today on my lunch break, which was it was an interesting film. I think it was called Deathgasm. I think that's what the name was called, or something gasm. I think it was Deathgasm. It was a terrible film. It was about metal and the devil and how music made the devil came. It was entertaining. Lots of gore, laughable, but yeah, there was people in that playing D&D and they made me laugh. I think it was like the master or whatever it is, like the guild master or whatever. One of his mates had just died because like he threw a fireball at a fire troll. Now you would think, like, having played RPG games, that you don't do that because he's going to be resistant to fire, which he was. So therefore he's like, what the fuck? And this guy's like, yeah, now you're dead. The fire troll kills you. And he's like, oh, starts moaning. And then like the master guy is like, and now a load of mini imps come and fuck your face. I was like, brilliant. That's what you want. I think that's what I would do if people were pissing me off and I had
That does
power.
does make me a little apprehensive about playing D&D with you.
It sounds fun.
That's your go-to move, buddy. Face fucking.
I thought that was a great move anyway. But yeah, funny.
I think the answer to where does the geekdom end is wherever you want it to. And as you said, wherever you feel comfortable.
Or uncomfortable.
There's no right or wrong here. So let's finish off, buddy, with some JfG correspondence, shall we?
Oh, let's do it. I love this shit.
We got a couple of little questions from Tom this week.
Big time listener.
Old left foot Wombat on the JfG podcast community on PlayStation.
Yeah. If you look, if you're on the video, you can look down over. Where's my finger going? That way. That doesn't seem right. I've got loads of links on there, buddy, where people can read them.
That is nice. That's very tasty
it doesn't
indeed.
help for an audio perspective right now, but that will happen.
It'll help when I'm wrapping things up because I can just read it off of there.
Oh, there you go, mate. I see. I've helped you out and many others that might watch this live. Who knows?
Beautiful. So anyway, Tom asks, will JfG be hosting any community events for The Division, and what can we expect from these events?
Oh, that's going to be a full-blown yes. I don't know. I think I told you this week. As we've already spoken about, we are on the 3.5 beta test for the PlayStation 4 update. And within that, you can create your own events. And I've been making a few events and putting them in the community with not many people, really, anyone. Joining them, apart from when I made you do it.
I did what I was told.
Yeah, definitely. And that is because you can't see them until the new update comes. So when that 3.5 update comes, these events will be coming thick and fast. Definitely once a week, possibly twice, depending on how often we're on. And yes, please feel free to come and join in and play some games, really.
That's true. We're knocking on the door of 20 odd members on the community now. Please come and join us if you're a PlayStation gamer, want to get involved. We are the JfG podcast. You can find that very easily. Just do a search on the communities. Worth also apologizing to Funk, because last week we mocked him because he asked this very same question and we said, we made a community, why didn't you join it? He isn't on the beta and never got that community invite. So sorry, Funk. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my bad.
But yes, the answer is as soon as the 3.5 update goes live for everybody and communities can make events that everybody can join, then we will start making events. I hear it's not going to be too long. It's just far easier if we can do it that way so that we can get people involved who are already members of the community. We don't want to spam anyone or annoy anyone who doesn't want to be annoyed. So yeah, that's the answer. And yes, we'll be doing Division. Absolutely, we will. I hope they bring in new modes in the Division in the future where you can get more than sort of 4 people into a server as well. We'll also be looking for people who want to play COD with us, want to play PES with us, racing games perhaps. Lots and lots of possibilities there, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer until the update comes in and it makes it streamlined and easy for us to do it. So
yeah, I think so. And what you can expect is witty banter, pro gaming skills, and a level of knowledge second to none.
That felt pre-prepared, buddy. If you've been doing
it wasn't. I didn't like the first two. I was going to say that, but the second, like the third one, like the level of knowledge, straight off the cuff. I mean, I didn't tell you what kind of knowledge. It could be about like ant farming or something. If
Do you
that's
know anything about ant farming, buddy?
No, I don't, but it could have been.
For one reason or another, I'm not willing to go into detail. I was on a website for the rental of short weekends in cottages, as in renting a cottage for a weekend.
Got ya. Yeah.
Today. And imagine my surprise when I was just looking at some photos of a cottage in Sussex, and a chat window opened up with some random fucker off that website going, "Hi, do you want to talk about our cottages?"
What did you say?
I said, "Absolutely fucking not."
Okay, cool.
And he said, "Okay, have a nice day."
Well, that's good news. I mean,
which was nice of him. But hey,
definitely.
You know, don't just pop a chat window up when I'm looking at photos. No. Imagine if that happened on a porn site and the person was legitimately there rather than some sort of ad.
Oh, God, I was knocking one off and then they just started talking to me. It's not what you want.
Stitch up. Absolute stitch up.
I mean, ASL. Yeah.
ASL. Let's go Yahoo chat.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyway, finally, also from Tom this week, he says, "What does Gibbons mean?" This is something we've answered before, but it was probably about 30 episodes ago.
Yeah,
buddy.
I think we need a refresh like every 6 months. What does Gibbons mean?
Yeah. It's going to be like the most popular question. We're going to get it on a regular basis.
So. Yeah. Maybe we should just put it on our website as well.
We need like a Gibbons definition page, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So what does it mean, buddy?
Gibbons evolved from Gibbon, which evolved from "it's a given," as in yes, or that is accurate, or I agree. So that's basically what's going on there when someone says it's a given, or definitely, or whatever. It's a given became Gibbon, and then we pluralized that to make it more cryptic, and that's what's happened there. So now it's become kind of a part of our vocabulary to the extent. I mean, we've been saying it for 10 years or something.
I would hate to think how long we've been saying this.
Every time I meet someone new, I forget that they don't know that it's something that I say. So it's difficult. People on the internet obviously aren't going to understand either. It's not a real thing. It's such a part of my vocabulary that I always forget that it isn't a real thing. But that's what it means. It essentially means yes, I agree, or definitely. So. And
just to clarify that, just popped on our live stream video, and fan of the podcast Dan Ward there using the word Gibbons in the chat.
It's a full-blown Gibbons. It's a Gibbons.
He's all about it.
There you go. So there you are. Consider yourself informed. So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 51 of the JfG podcast. I look forward to having recorded those sections that you missed.
Yeah.
I'm sure they went really well.
I'm sure they're fantastic. I mean, I'm so upset I missed out this week.
I had a lot to say. I was very eloquent, and you'll enjoy that very much when you listen back to the finished article.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
I hope your children behave themselves, buddy. I hope your baby stops crying,
I hope
and
so as well.
Things are better for you.
Bad week this week for the Rag household, I must say, with crying babies. It's not been great.
It's unfortunate, buddy. It's very unfortunate.
It is indeed.
But, you know, it just goes to show your dedication. Like, you could have bailed on the podcast this week. You could have said, you know what, I got a lot going on right now. But you didn't do that.
I didn't. I set up the live stream. I got it all working, you know. And then recorded, like, at least 2/3 of the podcast. I missed
Who
out
could
the
ask
bits
for
that
anything
I don't care
more?
about, you know, which is fun.
Yeah. He skived off the bits he didn't like. He was like, yeah, they won't stop crying. Yeah, they won't stop. Listen to him. So
yeah, I've got like a soundboard like under my desk, like baby noises. Yep. Oh well, gotta go. Sorry, mate. But yeah, once again, I can only apologise for not being here the whole time, and if it's been a bit disjointed. I think last week I managed to do a decent editing job, but I mean, I don't know what this week's going to go with, like the 3 times we had to do the news and things like that. Hopefully I've done a cracking stellar job, but
it's character building, buddy.
Yeah,
all this is character building.
Yeah, I love it. Big fan.
Well, let me sign off before anything else goes wrong. So
okay, go on then.
Thank you very, very much for listening and watching. If you were watching as well, hello. You can find us at www.justforgamers.co.uk. We are Facebook /the JfG podcast. Our Twitter is at the JfG podcast. Where else are we, buddy? Help me out here. SoundCloud. We are. I think we're Just for Gamers on SoundCloud, so you can find us on there. YouTube. We yet to have a URL, but we will have one soon. Come and join our PS4 community. It's the JfG podcast. You can find us on there, and we are also on Google Plus, if that is how you choose to live your life. So
yeah.
Until next week, thank you very, very much for listening. We hope you have a great one. I have been Alex. He has been Ash.
Bye.
And until next week, buddies, goodbye.
Bet.
Bet.
Just for fun. Bet.
Bet. You've been listening to the JfG podcast with Ash and me, Alex. To find out more, head to www.justforgamers.co.uk, Facebook /the JfG podcast, or Twitter, where we are at the JfG podcast. Episodes go live every Sunday, and if you could pop onto iTunes and write us a quick review, we would love every inch of you, even if you got old and fat. Thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you next time.